Woo! I am actually nervous for today's video because I have never ever told anyone, ever, I'm not exaggerating, ever told anyone my paranormal story or my ghost story ever in my life from when I was a little girl. So I am going to be telling you guys this and everyone this for the first time. So only like my family, close family that lived with me at the time knows all of these events. So if you guys are ready for a paranormal story of a lifetime of my own, and also I asked you guys on Instagram just because I didn't want to be alone here, your paranormal stories. I'm like shaking. So I try not to talk about this or put it in the universe too much, but it's spooky season, hence, okay? And I got this at Fashion Nova, by the way, you guys, really cute pajamas. Anyways, in light of spooky season, you guys all know I'm like a Halloween queen, but I try to not keep myself like susceptible to spirits or whatever, demons, anything like that. So I don't talk about my experience and I don't talk about other people's very much. But it is October and it's almost Halloween and I like watching these types of videos sometimes. It's like a guilty pleasure. So without further ado, I'm gonna tell you guys about my haunted ass house. Let's do it. So basically, guys, when I was a little girl, I used to live in a 120-year-old house in Kansas. This was when I was living with my biological mom and one of her ex-husbands and his son. So his son was like, I think he's like 5 or 6 years older than me or whatever. And we used to fight like cats and dogs. Obviously I fought with my mom all the time. If you see my other videos, we don't get along. And anyways, the whole house like was always just kind of like bad vibes or whatever from our family. But when we moved in, I know that my mom's ex-husband had owned the house for a long time and he had rented it out or whatever. And the whole block, like the whole neighborhood, all of those houses, if you look it up in College Hill, this area in Kansas, they're all over 100 years old and they're beautiful. Like they're really pretty houses, really well kept, like very rarely, I don't think I've seen any of them like redone. So they're all really well kept, nice, beautiful, almost like Victorian looking homes. Now, my house never looked scary or anything on the outside, but I remember when we were officially moving in, the house was cleared out and I was going up the stairs and I looked in what would be my room and there was just like creepy wallpaper, like whatever. I was younger, so I just was kind of like, ugh, whatever. And I remember picking out like paint colors or whatever. So, whatever. So basically my first thing to say about this home. You can look it up. Obviously, I'm not going to give you the address because I'm pretty sure my mom's ex-husband still lives there. I decided to go downstairs. So in this old house, everything is hardwood, so there's a lot of creaking or whatever. So you go downstairs and there's like a kitchen. The layout matters, kind of. There's a kitchen. You go, the staircase goes like down from the top and then turns and then down again. Okay, it's like an old wooden staircase, whatever. There's like a sitting room, there's like a formal dining room, like super like Victorian looking with like glass doors and stuff. And then there's like this weird little cabinet that had like this little locky thing on it. It reminded me of the Chokey if you've ever seen Matilda. So yeah, I had this little thing and you could open it and like it was like I guess it's like a coat closet or something like that, but that shit always freaked me out like so badly. Even when I was younger, I always got weird vibes by it, never went over there. What also freaked me out was the fact that when you enter the driveway, there's a door, like a hidden door on the left side that you can actually enter the house in. Now, during Prohibition, which is where alcohol sales were like illegal, alcohol was illegal, people built these speakeasies. So that's where like, there's like a hidden bar or whatever, like underneath houses or, establishments, whatever. So I found out that door, it was weird because it's like a door that you would have to take a giant step to like get in. You guys like my slippers? A giant step to like get in there because it's just a random weird door on the side of the house. So I asked my mom's ex-husband about it and he was like, oh, here, let me show you. Weird. So we go inside and he takes me past that weird little cubby, like locky door. And then you go in towards the kitchen, and on the right side, there's this old rickety, guys, straight from The Conjuring, like straight from any scary movie, door that is just so evil looking and gross. I'm not exaggerating. It was horrible. And he opens the door. So it's a basement. Everywhere in Kansas has a basement. There's tornadoes everywhere. So, okay. I obviously would never explore a basement, but he was with me, so we went down. But first of all, the stairs are like this small and just so dark. There's like there's like no lights down there. It was so scary. And I just remember being little, like, okay, what the heck is down here? So he ends up taking a corner to the right. I mean, it's huge down there, like a huge basement. I don't even think I ever really went in there. I don't think I ever went in there except for this one time because I was so like scared about it. So he flicks on this like little light, and I see a bar, like a full bar, not like a bar like that you would have in your house, but like an actual bar somewhere that you would go, like, you know, like have a drink at somewhere, you know, like a huge bar stools. I'm talking looks exactly like a scary movie, like someone abandoned it, like spider webs, weird, like huge, you know, where they would have alcohol or whatever in the back. So he proceeds to tell me that like it used to be a speakeasy, which now that I'm older, I think that's kind of cool. Like whatever, you know, during Prohibition, people used to come to this house and sneak in through that weird side door that I was talking about, and they would go down there and drink. So that was weird in itself, just because it's just like I guess a little backstory of the house, and that's really all I know about the house because I haven't like dove into it. Like I haven't researched it so much. So I just thought that was like something interesting about the house that shows how old it is, and like how many people were in and out of the house, and how many like, you know, bad things could have came with or out of or whatever, or maybe something bad happened there. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I've never looked into like the history of the house besides that point. So besides that, I never went back in that basement. I was immediately cold. I was sicked out. It was a shitty feeling down there. Hated it, whatever. So one day I was sleeping on a waterbed. Okay, so this is like the first experience. If you guys ever used to have waterbeds, I don't know what we were thinking in like the 90s, 2000s, but they were really cool. I actually kind of want one now. And if you, obviously you guys know, I mean, this is straight, like, it sounds like the new Conjuring movie, I think it is, where he's in a waterbed and like something grabs him. Well, I was laying in the laundry room because my room wasn't ready. Like I said, they were taking off that weird, like gross wallpaper, and, like Victorian looking, scary, yellowed. Oh my God, the whole works. I wish I had a camera when I was like 8. But they were painting my house, and, you know, I'm a pretty, like, I was always a very aware little girl, you know, like I always paid attention to detail and whatever. So I was sleeping in the laundry room upstairs, which is on the top level. And I was sleeping on a waterbed because they were painting my room. So all of a sudden, maybe it must have been only maybe like 1 or 2 in the morning. This was my first like experience. I started feeling like someone, if you were to like tap a waterbed, I mean, it would go like this, right? Like send waves through the bed. So I remember sleeping with my face towards the laundry room door, and I slept with the door open because I was a little freaked out of that freaking house. Also, why was I in there by myself? I don't know. My mom was somewhere. I don't know. So I thought it was my ex-stepbrother messing with me because, like I said, we used to like fight all the time. And so I woke, you know, kind of like woke up or whatever, and I looked down, and all I could see was like the top of someone's head right over the waterbed, okay? So it was like a man's head that was like kind of shaved. So I was like, wait, that's not my brother, right? So I am immediately freaking out, and I'm just feeling the bed just like move, like stronger and stronger. And finally I freak out, and I literally run and jump, couldn't see anything at the end of the bed, jump off of the waterbed and go into my mom's room and tell her what happened. At the time, my mom tried to like keep it really cool, and she was like, oh my gosh, it was probably just a dream, whatever. But it definitely was not a dream. I was 100% awake, and I know exactly what I saw and felt. So from then on, I never went in the laundry room ever. Like never ever went in the laundry room, never slept in there again, whatever. So moving forward, I started sleepwalking. I've never slept walked in my life ever, since then or before then. But when we lived in that house, when I moved into my specific room, there was actually a little balcony off of the room onto the roof. Okay, why they put me, a young girl, in that room specifically, I don't know. But I started sleepwalking. So basically, I would walk like anywhere, I guess. This is from, I don't recall any of this. This is just from my mom's, seeing or whatever. So I would like walk around like the top level of the floor. I would try to open my door to go out on the roof. And my mom had caught me multiple times like trying to get that door open. So, that it had a lock on it. So my mom like made sure it was locked because like I could obviously walk off the roof. And, but yeah, she told me one morning when I woke up, I had no recollection of this at all. Like just woke up in my bed and she told me, she was like, God, like, are you okay? Do you remember last night? And I was like, no. And she was like, you were literally walking around, like just kind of humming to yourself, walking around the top floor. And you were about to just nosedive down the stairs, like just nosedive. And my mom said, I heard you like humming to yourself. It woke me up out of my sleep. And she literally grabbed me, can't make this up, by the back of my shirt as I was about to fall down these wooden, crazy Victorian stairs that could have totally hurt me badly. So she grabbed me by the back of my pajamas and put me back in bed. I don't remember any of this stuff, any of it. So then this is my last encounter in the house because my mom, ended up marrying someone else and we left. So the last encounter in the house was something that will stick with me forever. And I hate even saying this out loud. Like I said, I've never said this except to probably my biological mom. I was laying in my bed and all the lights just turned off. I used to sleep with the lights on there because I was terrified. Like after my mom was like, God, I was sleepwalking like every night, you guys, like every single night. I would go into my mom's room. She said I would like poke her in the eye, like weird stuff, which some kids do, whatever, but I'd never done that in my life. And I have never done that since I moved out of that house. So anyways, I was sleeping and with all the lights on, and I used to like beg for like a TV or something in my room to distract me because I just could not sleep in there. Like I just was so freaked out all the time after all of, this weird stuff was happening. My lights cut off completely. I thought we might have lost power, like whatever. You can kind of start to see that it's getting early in the morning because it is like getting a little lighter outside, okay? So I was up. I would be up like not all night, but I would go in and out of sleep because I'd be so scared or like I'd hear something or like whatever. So this is going to sound weird and crazy and whatever. I can't believe I'm even saying this out loud, but okay. I was laying in my bed and all the lights cut off immediately. And so I could still see because there was like light coming in through my windows. Again, I thought this was my stepbrother at the time. And I was like, oh my God, like so-and-so, I don't want to put his name out there, but I was like, so-and-so, like stop, like, freaking out because we used to mess with each other all the time. So all of a sudden I hear in like the deepest voice, okay, the growliest, grossest, deepest voice. I will never forget this. I can't make this up, you guys. I just cannot get it out of my mind. Someone chanting twice, fee, fi, fo, fum. It was a child's thumb. It was a child's thumb. And I know that sounds so crazy and stupid and whatever, but it was so scary that I was like about to piss myself. And I literally grabbed my blanket like this to like go out. So when I grabbed my blanket to get out of my bed, I was trying to be so like quiet. I was terrified. I wanted to go in my mom's room. When I did this, I literally felt, promise, hand on the Bible, someone grab my wrist and pull me towards the side of the bed, okay? So like this, like physically touch me. So at this point, it's not just seeing things, whatever, if someone physically touched me, I screamed like as loud as I could. My mom came in and turned on the lights and I was like, Mom, like tried to tell her everything, whatever. She sat down and she told me, and she's like, listen, like, at this point, I don't think things were working out with her and this dude anyways. But she told me, she was like, yeah, like I didn't want to freak you out like the first time that you had talked to me about this, but ever since you started sleepwalking, there's been occasions where I have woken up thinking that you're sleepwalking because I'm hearing like footsteps down the stairs. So she told me in her words that she turned the corner and she literally saw some like a middle-aged or like, you know, like mid-aged woman in a white dress walking down the stairs. And my mom was like, Soph, because she thought it was me. And the chick turned her head like all the way around and then just turned back and like kept walking down the stairs. Check please. Like I was like, wait, what? Like, and she was like, yeah, so like I totally believe you. You know, she had seen weird stuff too. So we were on the same page. And after that experience with the hand grab, nothing else happened. And we moved out of the house and that was that. Nothing followed us, nothing whatever. So I do believe something maybe was in that house. I never felt 100% scared until that last time when something actually grabbed me, because I was like, okay, how can something that's not there? I don't know. It just was really scary. So from then on, my mom and I always got our houses like chalked and like blessed by a priest and everything. I still do that here, just because, yeah. But I try not to think about it because I don't want to be susceptible to crazy stuff. So I will move on from my paranormal story now. I don't even know how long that was. That was probably a really long story. And I want to read some of your guys' scariest or whatever encounters. So let's get started. This is my first time reading these as well, so forgive me if I have to like stop or, you know, fix anything. Okay. So this is from Laura. She said, I was home alone one night and my sister lived upstairs from me. I knew her and her husband went away for the weekend, and I started to hear someone dragging the kitchen chairs across the floor. Ah! That is so scary to me. Okay. I have chills. I went upstairs to see why they came back, and no one was home, and the house was dark. Once I turned on the lights, the chairs were scattered all over the kitchen. I put all the chairs back where they belonged, and 1 hour later, I heard the noises again. So once again, I ran upstairs, and again the chairs were scattered. This happened twice more that night. The fourth time I went up and saw the chairs again. The chairs, mind you, were always in different spots. Oh, that sicks me out. Oh my God. I left the chairs as is, shut off the lights, and went to sleep at my boyfriend's house and moved out once my sister and husband came home. I do not blame you. That is terrifying. I don't know what it is with like spirits or whatever and like chairs or moving things around or like opening cabinets, but that is so scary, and I'm so glad you moved out. This next one is from Florencia. She said, I was getting out of the shower and I saw a woman standing in my bathroom looking at me through the mirror. Straight scary movie. That's crazy. So I turned around to see her, thinking I was tripping, and she was still there, but this time looking past me. I ran out. Oh my God. I ran out and told my husband. He went to check and there was no one there. The next day, my daughter saw a woman, and when she described her to me, it was the exact same woman that I saw. A couple of days later, my kids were playing with my phone taking pictures, and in one of the pictures, you can kind of see her in the background. I should have asked you, I should have read this before and asked you for that picture, but that is insane. Derek actually has a picture similar of a ghost in the haunted forest in California, and it's like very real and very scary. That is so scary. I bet you are like traumatized of ever looking in mirrors like ever again. One night I had this horror. This is from Carol, by the way. I'm scared. I'm home alone. One night I had this horrible stomach pain. I couldn't sleep, tossed and turned all night. I finally went downstairs and laid on the couch. I turned on the TV and there was this show about angels on. This is the channel the TV was on when I just turned it on. All of a sudden, the pain just started to go away and I finally felt better. Later that day, I sat down and put my hands on my lap and it hurt. I went to the bathroom and pulled my pants down, and on my right inner thigh were 4 black bruises in the perfect shape of a handprint. It was as if something was trying to force me open. I mean, these bruises were black. Another time I was in bed and felt both sides of the bed sink in. I know that feeling. That's kind of, oh God, that's so scary. As if someone had gotten into the bed next to me. Wow, that's crazy. Carol, she said she has like a bunch of stories too. I have one more. Okay, I'm going to share one more with you guys because this one seems good too. My parents bought a new house. This is Mercedes, by the way, guys. Sorry. My parents bought a new house when I was 21 or so, and the first thing I noticed in the basement was that it had a cold feeling. Same thing, totally feel you. Was that it had a cold feeling. So if you guys get a cold feeling anywhere, just leave. And then saw what looked like blood splatter on the wall. Stop. Can't. There was never any confirmed deaths there or anything. However, I always got the creeps in that house. Always. Can relate to you on that. Totally. So, at that house, when I moved back in with my parents during college, I slept in the room in the basement with the blood splatter on the wall. Never in my life had I once had sleep paralysis. Wow, this is really similar to my story already. However, once I moved back, I started having sleep paralysis. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically like where you are literally, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're awake cognitively, I guess, but you're like in between and like you just can't move, like you're paralyzed, right? Every time it was the same. I would wake up from a deep, deep sleep and a dark blob was standing over me. I would try to yell for my mom and nothing would come out. This happened all the time. I hear that all the time from people with sleep paralysis that they try so hard to like yell and yell and yell and like they literally can't get the words out. This happened all the time. As soon as I moved out, it never happened again until I would stay over there. See, that's so weird. Like I never would sleepwalk. I feel you. Totally understand. Also, we had weird things happen. 2 separate times, the glass light cover in the hall adjacent to the haunted room shattered right as I walked underneath it. Once, the dryer, which was in the same hall/room, just started randomly. I was the only one home. Also, some of the nights I had the blob over me, the house alarm would go off for no reason. I absolutely hate that place. Wow, that is so scary. You guys have some really scary stories. There's some that I can't even read. Also, I lost some on Instagram. So if you guys do want me to do a part 2 of this, I will. But yeah, that is my paranormal experience. Now I'm going to go say a prayer. But I truly believe that like this is the time to like talk about it and like laugh about it and joke about it because, you know, it's fun and it's October. But I will say that you're more susceptible to things like that when you open up like your mind, heart, body, soul, whatever to them. So with that being said, I don't believe in none of y'all. I bless this house and I rebuke you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed my story and leave your story in the comments if you have a spooky one. Love you guys.